So when my fiance and I go on vacation, we're probably not going to spend a lot of time in museums or art galleries or churches. We're probably going to be doing something active. We really like to move as a couple, and that's one thing that really bonds us together. One thing that really drew us to one another is our love for being active, for hiking, for paddleboarding, for doing yoga, for running, and rock climbing, of course. So when we went to Greece for my sister's wedding, we went on 3 different hikes, and this one, Mount Dirfi, was easily the best and most challenging. Mount Dirfi is a 6-mile hike with about 3,000 feet of elevation, and it took us 5.5 hours with a bunch of rest along the way and a decent amount of rest at the summit as well, where we ate lunch. Overall, a pretty strenuous hike with some pretty steep climbing and pretty exposed. We both got sunburns, so remember to add that sunscreen if it's looking like the sun's gonna come out. For us, coming home from a vacation feeling refreshed means that we used our bodies, we were active, and we probably challenged ourselves a little bit. And Mount Dirfi definitely gave us the chance to do that. This is a challenging hike. Near the middle to top, it gets really exposed, really rocky. You have to do a little bit of class 4 scrambling. And it does feel quite dangerous at times, especially with the wind and the conditions, depending on the day that you go. We actually saw some people who looked quite fit stay behind and decide not to summit. So this is definitely a challenging hike and not something that I would take someone on unless they actively wanted a challenge. That's also what made it really rewarding. Now, my fiance and I really bonded over our love from nature from the get-go. We climb together, we hike together, we stand up paddleboard, we do all this stuff in nature together. And I think that matters a lot more than people realize. See, the partner that you end up choosing ends up having a huge influence on the way that you end up living your life. Now, in the past, I've had relationships that we bonded over, drinking, watching movies, and eating at bars. And I don't blame those partners because I was equally responsible. I was a grad student at the time, and I really, could use a drink after a long day of work. And it's something that really allowed my mind to rest. But what I realize now is that movement is something that also equally allows my mind to rest. Doing a hard lift or a long trail run or some yoga. These are the kind of things that give my mind a refresh in the same way that drinking once did, except without the hangover the next day that has me out for the rest of the day. Now, the best part is, this is something that my fiance actively enjoys too. Whether or not I was there, she would be doing active things on her own. And this is really important because when life gets busy, you end up falling back to your default habits. So both of our default habits are to do things active together. And that's something that allows us both to get back to a good mental state. So when you end up choosing a partner, you end up choosing the habits that end up shaping your life together. And what that means is if you end up going to Greece for your sister's wedding, you'll probably end up scrambling on the side of a mountain somehow. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.